All right, so let's get into it. This is going to be the overview video for the week of July 15th, 2024 of NASDAQ price action. So, wow, first things first, over the weekend, former President Trump, was had an attempted assassination attempt. So we can factor that in as a catalyst for this large price movement shown on the screen here, over here to the right, on this black candle here, as aftermath of that event. You know, once something happens in the geopolitical or socioeconomic scene, just from a fundamental standpoint, that tends to have an effect on the markets. Same thing with this large black candle here. I forget what happened during that day or that week. I'm pretty sure that was last week though, but something big happened, you know, and it sparked a lot of movement. So you can factor that in, but like I say all the time, that news or just these events that happen in the world are just a catalyst for price to do what it's already going to do. So yeah, from the 4 hour standpoint, I remember last time we talked about I wanted to see price go to 50% of this 4 hour inefficiency, and then I looked at it again and I refined it into a 1 hour inefficiency, and I think down to a 30-minute, if I believe correctly. And that was based off the fact that, yes, price had a reaction at this 50%, but there was something higher. And based off the principle that I go by, that price must equalize before leaving a range, right? So this internal range in the premium side needs to be mitigated before price goes and does whatever else it wants to do. So essentially what happened here is that we got more mitigation of this 4 hour inefficiency, and I didn't notice it until today again. I need to get back to doing that correctly, but price actually ended up mitigating this 30-minute inefficient pricing here. $300, right? Oh, that's the wrong way. All right, we'll do that again. Here. Yeah, so I ended up mitigating this 30-minute inefficient pricing here, and I believe it could have been refined even more, into this 15-minute inefficient pricing, which is the last point of inefficient pricing inside of this run, this bearish run here. So as we can see, if we go ahead and mark it up here, the 15-minute inefficient pricing refined from the 30-minute, this is what price came to mitigate, and now we're having a run. We ran this low here, right, showing intent to move lower. And so what I was expecting, or what I'm expecting now, for the rest of the week actually, is bearish price action, or at least until Wednesday. This is an arbitrary date, but I would expect price to come into this, so created this range here, and then pull up into the premium of this range, mitigating this inefficient pricing here and possibly this candle, and then roll over and still aim for that 335 target that I was looking for last week, right? So that's what I'm expecting now. Back to the 4 hour perspective though, I still think that we're bearish short term based off of this momentous move here, and the fact that we keep getting multiple rejections as we slow down the correction higher. We completely mitigated this 4 hour inefficiency. It seems like we've mitigated completely this premium side of this range. So any further inefficient pricing that's created will be forward in price moving in time. Now, what happens here, I'm expecting, once again, two scenarios. The first one was, I'm expecting price to retrace back up to mitigate something inside of that range, that internal range here, and that premium internal range. Or I'm expecting price to drop down into discount and then aim for one of these points of interest down in this area. That's just the short-term play playing off of this range. I am taking into account, always having in the back of my mind that, yeah, price could do something sporadic. Like it could flash up, easily, and it could flash down easily, right? And clear this range and, not give any plays. Or if I'm in a play and it takes me out, well, I'm like, oh, well, shit, it is what it is. Or it could go in my favor, right? So I could get a trade off of here, price trades down and flashes down and be like, oh yeah, that's great for me. Or I could be waiting to play off a point of interest in this area and then price flashes down and I'm gonna be like, well, dang, that sucks. Or I could, get into a trade and price flashes up. Same scenario, right? I always keep the extremes in the back of my mind, but ideally, price likes to stay in these ranges until things are mitigated. And because these markets are really fair, there's not really a lot of manipulation, whereas there's going to be a lot of flashes up and down as there are in the CFD markets, Forex markets, etc. And so I think we're pretty good here. So just staying within this current range from the 4-hour perspective, I think we're fine. So like I said, I'm looking for premium plays, premium as in looking for sells into the discount of this range with my ultimate target here until otherwise, until, not shown, unless if we start pushing up, then, oh, well, I'll have to wait for plays. But right now I'm looking for that 335 target and then seeing based off the reaction, what happens at this 330 or 355 target. There's 335. I'm tripping. 335 target. I want to see if price dives lower into the discount of this range and then mitigates a point of interest here. I can see one as this inefficient pricing. I also see this sponsored candle here and also this wick that mitigated here. And I also see this wick that mitigated here. So I'll dive deeper into those once price action gets towards those levels, which will probably come in the coming week or two, depending on how price action, happens over this week, right? But that's just my pre-analysis overview of what I'm seeing this week, and I'll catch plays accordingly. Now, if something major happens during the week, then I'll catch trades accordingly, right? But for the framework of this week, based off of the price action that's happened on Monday and previous price action in the price action of the previous week, this is what I'm seeing currently. All right. So yeah, that's it for this overview. Happy trading this week. Peace.